Alright, imagine yourself on stage, competing at your heart's desire against your rival. The next move could decide the entire game, and the crowd of thousands of people sit on the edge of their seats in anticipation of the outcome. You make the final move, and the crowd goes crazy. What did you just win? You just won a StarCraft professional game. There's sound.
On the panel.
You've been disappointed because you lost. Okay. I'll be talking about the growth and development of professional gaming in South Korea with an emphasis on StarCraft being the game of focus. I've been a PC gamer since I was 9, and I've been playing StarCraft for a couple years now. I also did try to pursue a career in Counter-Strike as well. Though I stayed at the amateur level, I was very close to reaching to the point of professional. I've always dreamed of being a professional gamer, but the amount of practice and dedication needed is like, way up here. I'm sure most of you know a friend or two just locks himself inside his room and plays games for hours at a time. If you don't know one, you do now. Today, I'll explain the game of StarCraft itself, the lifestyle of a pro gamer, and the growth of the pro scene in Korea. First, I'd like to introduce you to the game of StarCraft itself. StarCraft is an economy-based, real-time strategy game where you build a variety of different units for a variety of different purposes to destroy your opponent in the end. It also has 3 different races that are playable with different strategies involved with it. It was released on March 31st, 1998 by Blizzard Entertainment and sold more than 11 million copies worldwide. StarCraft requires an amazing multitasking skills because you need to be able to attack your opponent and build and increase your economy as well. When talking about StarCraft, 2 terms come to mind, micro and macro. These are 2 different terms that you absolutely need to know. Micro is the way you control each unit to its maximum potential. And macro is managing your resources, building structures, and building units. Professional StarCraft player does this both at the same time. What I can tell you about StarCraft is like playing chess at like 1 million times, or 1 million miles per hour. Second, I want to elaborate on the lifestyle of a professional StarCraft player. The StarCraft pro is just like any other high school job. You need a certain level of skill or knowledge, and you're required to work a certain amount of hours a week. To measure the level of a pro StarCraft gamer, one usually resorts to what is called actions per minute, or APM. APM is the average amount of clicks or buttons pressed in a minute. The higher the APM, the better the player. Let me show you a clip how the level of pro player works and how good his APM is. Mine's around 60 to 100. His is going to be around 300. So these players, they practice 6 days a week, about 10 hours a day. A typical day goes like this. You wake up at 10 a.m., practice from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., an hour for lunch, more practice from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., dinner from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., and final practice from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Who you just saw was Nada. He's one of the highest ranked players in the world, and according to Team Liquid, a professional gaming organization, his name is Lee Yun-yul. He signed a contract with professional gaming organization Pantech, or We Made Fox, as they're known now, for approximately $600,000 for 3 years. Now, let's transition from pro gamers to what the whole professional organization of StarCraft in South Korea is like. StarCraft is no longer a game in Korea. It's an entertainment industry. There are 2 television channels in South Korea focused on just StarCraft itself, on GameNet and NBC Games. Each run a televised gaming league, On Game Star League and NBC Game Star League. Starting in 2002, professional teams emerged and started gathering the top players in Korea. These teams were sponsored by huge corporations like Samsung, SK Telecom, and KTF. There are now 12 professional teams in South Korea today, 11 sponsored by corporations, and 1 even sponsored by the Korean Air Force. Every year, many live tournaments flood the beach of Busan, South Korea. The attendance is huge, approximating over 100,000 people. According to the article in the magazine Edge, Pro StarCraft actually holds a Guinness World Record for the largest audience for a gaming competition at 120,000 people at the beach of Busan in 2005. Let me show you a clip of Busan, the beach, for a recent tournament in 2010. And one last thing, according to the article in Edge and something else in there too, the Korea Times reported that top players were also in cahoots with illegal betting websites. Top pros from Korea were allegedly accused of throwing matches in exchange for hard cash. Though nothing has been proven, it shows that StarCraft is as popular as over there as, say, football is over here, as they've seen the same problems with their entertainment as we do here in the United States. I've talked about the game of StarCraft, the lifestyle of pro gamers, and the growth and success of professional StarCraft. As you can see, the StarCraft industry is continually growing. The popularity of StarCraft is now even higher due to the recent release of StarCraft 2. With updated graphics and gameplay, it will appeal to more audiences in the United States and in Europe. What?
Okay. Can we just log off?
Yeah.
No, don't log off.
Off his
Off,
email.
yeah, oh, off his email. Yes, you can do that. I'm sorry.
Have you heard anything StarCraft as well?
Nicholas, what'd you think?
He had a nice attention grabber. I liked how he related it to his own life in the beginning. It was very funny. He explained what StarCraft was pretty well. He was around like 30-70 of reading his cards and looking at the audience. He explained how much you have to be dedicated as a gamer to be a StarCraft pro, and explain like the regimen of how their day goes. There's a lot of information. He spoke clear, and overall I thought he did pretty well.
All right. I thought you did a very nice job. There's an excellent thesis statement. There's a good setup of the structure. It sounds to me like you've got some good material in the speech. You're a little inconsistent about citing it. You had 2 or 3 places where you cite it, and I know that there's other information that you're using that's not being cited. So just be consistent about that. There were a couple of things that I didn't quite understand about the game, which is not a surprise, because let's face it, it's not something that I've ever delved into. But you talked about economy building, and I don't understand what that's, what goes on there, how that works. Maybe there's some other game or process that you could compare it to. And so that was a little bit of an issue for me, because I felt a little bit left out in understanding what's going on. The visualizations that you had, I thought, did a pretty good job of indicating what people have to be doing, but I think there's probably a lot more complexity to it than I'm getting a chance to see here, because it looks like it's just movement on the board, and I know that there's more to it than that, because you said that it was a multitasking thing. There are these other elements to it, and we don't really get a very clear explanation of that. But all the other stuff, I thought you did a very nice job on. The idea of the APM and the amount of work that the gamers have to put into it, I thought those were illustrated pretty well, and the popularity there was interesting. It would be maybe useful to hear some more numbers about how widespread the attention is to the 2 channels that are playing or they're showing all of the gaming that's going on. I don't know, maybe we could log on right now and see a live game that's being played someplace in South Korea at this particular moment. Is it spreading to other countries? You know, maybe a little bit more background information on that sort of thing. But otherwise, I thought it was fine. I did think that you were looking down a lot more frequently than you want, and when you look up, you come across much more involved and sincere, and you know what you're talking about, so you ought to be able to do that a little bit more. All right.